Donald, I know you live in your own reality.
She tells you how to fight ISIS on her website. I don't think General Douglas MacArthur would like that too much.
It's pretty much accepted at this point that 2016's debates are the nastiest ever.
You should be ashamed of yourself, what you did.
Join the debate by saying more crazy things.
Here's just a basic example. It's 2012, and you've got Barack Obama and Mitt Romney shaking hands for 6 seconds. But 4 years later, and if this all feels unprecedented, well, maybe it is. But maybe we also shouldn't be so surprised.
If you look at direct attacks on character and leadership, they have been going up, I would say, pretty steadily since the 1960 debates.
That's according to research by Dr. Hink and his 2 colleagues. The team has analyzed every televised presidential debate, and they've actually plotted 2 graphs that really put Trump versus Clinton into a historical context. One is the number of direct attacks on character and leadership, and that one is pretty much just going up. The other is the number of indirect attacks, so the subtler, perhaps more genteel attacks. Those are going down.
Senator Kennedy has suggested in his speeches that we lack compassion for the poor.
In the early debates, personal attacks revolved more around policy. But then you get 1988, the year when things really turned nasty. Like when the Democrats mocked VP candidate Dan Quayle's full name.
So ridiculing a person's name is a little beneath this process, and he'll do very well when we get into the debates.
Well, when it comes to ridicule, George, you win a gold medal. I think we can agree on that.
Why? Why did attacks start getting more personal? One argument is that debates have become as much about entertainment as education, and the moderators have to balance this.
I'd like to know, Anderson, why aren't you bringing up the emails? I'd like to know. Why aren't you?
They are trying to make for interesting television events to watch, but it's not necessarily always enlightening for the policy differences that divide the candidate.
So that's where the moderator's tough job comes in.
Yes.
That is information the public should know. They might
Yes.
just get kind of bored by it.
Yes.
2004 saw a huge spike in contentious debates, echoing how America's politics were getting more polarized.
We're not going to go alone like this president did.
Well, I got to answer this.
Exactly.
Let me answer this, what he just said about
Well, I
going
wanted to get
alone.
into the issue
You
of the
tell
backdoor
Tony
draft.
Blair we're going alone. Tell Tony Blair we're going alone.
That may be one explanation for why we see the candidates just engaging in direct face threats, because that's the way in which they win over voters who potentially identify with their political viewpoints.
You mentioned the Navy, for example, and that we have fewer ships than we did in 1916. Well, Governor, we also have fewer horses and bayonets. We have these things called aircraft carriers where planes land on them.
So 2016.
There you go again.
I was going to say something extremely rough.
Okay, Donald.
Unprecedented? Maybe. Unexpected? Well, it shouldn't be.